Hello, dear viewers. Namaskar. Welcome to Moksha Media. You are with Moksha Hiremat. So many poets, playwrights, writers, artists, and others contributed a lot to the development of Kannada literature and culture. They enriched Kannada language, literature, and culture by their contribution in different fields and practices. And Kavikaama is one of them. Most of you may not have heard the name of Kavikaama. Kavikaama was lived in the first part of 13th century. He was a contemporary of Acharya who wrote Vardhamana Purana. Of course, Kavikaama was a multifaceted one. He was a different type of a poet. Kavikaama is famous for his Avadani art and culture. Most of us don't know the Avadani art and culture. Anyhow, Kavikaama showed it to the world. Kavikaama had two works to his credit. They are Sringara Ratnakara and Stana Shataka. Sringara Ratnakara is also called as Rasa Shastra. In Sringara Ratnakara, Kavikaama deals with the Navarasas, that is the 9 emotions of a man. These Navarasas play a prominent role in the development of arts, culture, and aesthetics. Without these 9 emotions, that is Navarasas, one cannot imagine aesthetics. These 9 rasas are part and parcel of aesthetics, and Kannada aesthetics is not an exception to this. But playing upon these 9 rasas is not that much of easy as we think. Most of you, I hope, know these 9 rasas, these 9 emotions. They are beauty, that is Sringara, Hasya, that is laughter, Raudra, that is anger, and Vivatsa, that is disgust, and Karuna, that is compassion, Veera, that is heroic qualities, Bhayanaka, that means terror. I have already told of Vivatsa, that is disgust, Adbhuta, surprise, and Shanta, tranquility. These 9 rasas play a prominent role in the development of culture, literature, and aesthetic qualities of a society. Till Kavikaama, no one wrote about Navarasas in their entirety. Kavikaama was the first poet in Kannada literature to write entirely on these 9 rasas. He dwelt upon Sringara rasa very much. He did not favor the tranquil emotion, that is the Shanta rasa. But he played with Sringara rasa and he depicted that Sringara rasa in so many ways. So it shows to what extent that Kavikaama committed to the Sringara rasa. Of course, we have another work, that is Sthana Shataka, but Sthana Shataka is not yet found. It is mentioned that it is the work of Kavikaama, but it is nowhere found. When it is found, the things would have been different. And another quality of Kavikaama was Avadani culture. What is meant by Avadani? It is a kind of performing art. And in this performing art, one writes, speaks, listens, and answers at a time. It is not that much of easy as we think. One should listen properly, one should answer responsibly, one should write, and one should read without mistakes. If a person performs in this way, automatically one should be knowledgeable and one should be committed to artistic qualities. So he should have a knowledge of different fields. Then only he can speak, he can listen, he can write, he can answer at a time. That Kavikaama had that quality. So he is considered even today one of the prominent Avadanis in the history of Kannada literature, language and culture. Recently, here I would like to point out another thing in this century. Recently, the government of India awarded Padma Bhushana to Shatavadani Dr. R. Ganesh. And Shatavadani Dr. Ganesh is only the one Shatavadani in the land of Karnataka. And that Shatavadani reads, writes, speaks and answers all the persons at a time. It is a kind of art, and that Shatavadani Dr. R. Ganesh is expert in that field. So the government of India recently honored him with the Padma Bhushana. Of course, that performing Avadani culture should be continued. Of course, now we have Shatavadani Dr. R. Ganesh with us. That Avadani culture should be considered for the next generation, because it is a kind of art which enriches our reading, understanding and realization and grasping the things in a proper way. It builds culture and it enhances culture. When we are in the stage of losing the rich culture of India, the culture should be enhanced again and again. To enhance that culture, rich culture, the performing art of Avadana is very helpful. That is why that Avadana performance should be fostered for the next generation. This is what we have to keep in our mind while reading, while listening to the poetry of Kavikaama, and while reading the writings of Shathavadani, Dr. R. Ganesh. I have already told you Shathavadani, Dr. Ganesh is the only one Shathavadani in the land of Karnataka. Now the thing is, who and what should be after Shathavadani? Who and what should be the fate of Avadhani culture after Shathavadani, Dr. Ganesh, is a big question before us. Because we should not lose that culture. We have to sustain that culture. We have to foster that culture for the development of humanity, for the nobility of humanity. So in such a position, someone should take that place. Someone should continue that culture. Of course, it should not end with Shathavadani, Dr. Ganesh, and others should be continued in one way or another way. One should try to foster it in one way or other way in order to retain the goodness of that Avadhana performance. Let us hope the silver line would be there. We hope for that silver line, and with this only we can say something about this Avadana, Kavikaama, and Shathavadani, Dr. R. Ganesh. Of course, Shathavadani R. Ganesh has also his writings. They are seen in his Ragabharati in 2 volumes. One has to go through those Ragabharati volumes whenever we get the time. But anyhow, whatever Shathavadani, Dr. Ganesh performed should be appreciated, because it is a cultural art. Once lost cannot be regained. That's why we have to see it should not be lost forever and ever. It should be retained forever and ever, and such performing art should be fostered. I hope you have caught my point. Subscribe and share it. See you in the next episode. Thank you. Namaskar.